Dr. Devynne here with Jing, Shen Healing Arts and Middle Path CrossFit. For those of you that don't know me, I am the head coach and owner here at Middle Path. I am also a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. I've been in practice for the last 10 years. Our space houses both our clinic and our gym all under one roof, and they run separately but together. And we've got some exciting things coming forward this year, really in the next coming months. I do a lot of recording for our clinic. I do a lot of recording for our tea. If you found your way to Nerdy Girl Tea. And one thing I don't do is get on here and speak a lot in our CrossFit fitness platform. And it is my intention to change that. I have a lot of things that I want to say. Some of it is figuring out the timing and the right container and how I want all of this to come together. And so it's a place that I have always felt very reserved to get on and speak to, not necessarily because I'm worried about what's going to get said, but more so who's going to see it and what context they're going to have around some of this messaging. I am in a place where I'm ready to pull the trigger on that. I'm not sure where we're going to start and the initial pivots of where this is going to go, but hopefully, as you listen and follow along, how all of this comes together will make sense. And so, actually, one of the places that I want to start with messaging, which will have an impact on where we're headed as we continue to move forward, is how CrossFit gyms run. And I think it probably doesn't matter to a lot of people on a consumer place, but it does speak a lot to some culture and some of the connotations that are out there around CrossFit. My intention within this video is not necessarily to turn you on to CrossFit. In fact, what I'm hoping it's going to do is draw some attention to things that if you're looking for fitness, if you're looking for coaches, if you're looking for XYZ, that you get to kind of run it through this filter of whether or not it's meeting the needs of what you're actually looking for. If that is within a CrossFit gym, beautiful, wonderful. And if it's not, that's totally great too. Finding what works for you and all of this, that is the point. But on the reverse side of that, what I would say is if you've had a challenging experience with CrossFit, or if you see things that are associated and tied to CrossFit, and you just haven't had the greatest experience with that, hopefully this will help you understand and maybe give you an opportunity to try again if you have the ability to. All of that to say, one of the beautiful things about choosing to affiliate with CrossFit and run an affiliate is that we get to run our boxes and our gyms however we want. So with the affiliate model, we are not told how to run our business, how to coach, what to coach, all of those things. There is foundational methodology and likeness and philosophy that kind of ties us all together. It's why I think athletes that really love CrossFit turn into coaches, and why coaches eventually own boxes and do this for more people. There's something about the methodology and the foundations of what CrossFit stands for and represents that is the common thread, right? But in that, I think that is also where it depends on the box. And so we get to pick and choose our programming. We can do it ourselves. We can buy programming, whatever that is. We all go through this process to become coaches, right? Whether you have your CrossFit level 1, your CrossFit level 2, 3, 4, whatever that may be. So there is a system in place for training coaches and educating coaches within the world of CrossFit. But a lot of what finds its way, I think, to the internet and to public eye in both directions is the sport. And I think that's a place where it's really hard to separate what is methodology for health and wellness, what is philosophy for helping people live better lives, and the sport of CrossFit, where people are competing at very high levels and doing these crazy movements, crazy weights, and all of these things that feel impossible and dangerous and all of that. There's also a gray area in between where I think people within this world live, where they get into CrossFit because they love the methodology, they love what it's doing for their health, and then they want to take it up a notch, whether they're trying to get to the games or not, right? But they start doing local competitions and pushing those edges a little bit more and finding the best of both worlds. But in that process, what gets left behind because of the exuberance and all of the enthusiasm is the health and wellness model. That is not the case everywhere. My hope is that people have experiences at gyms and at these boxes where they're being coached really well. They're prioritizing safe movement patterns, teaching you how to move well first before getting heavy, before getting fast. It's one of the things that is foundational in CrossFit methodology is mechanics consistency before intensity. And so there's so much to say within that. And I don't want this video to necessarily drone on and on. My point in all of this is saying that find a box that aligns with your goals. And so when you're looking into CrossFit, or if you've had a bad CrossFit experience, just know that maybe it wasn't the right fit for you. Maybe it wasn't the right culture. It wasn't the coaching that you were looking for. It doesn't necessarily make those people bad coaches, but maybe it's not what you were needing and wanting. And I would encourage you to keep looking for that. One of the goals within our space here at Middle Path is to prioritize the health and wellness. Because of my doctor hat, we can't really take that off. And I don't care if half of our members ever get pull-ups and toes to bar and all of those things. I want them to feel better moving. I want them to be in less pain, be more mobile. I also believe that if we follow the programming and trust the programming and we're doing all these things, that eventually you will get your first pull-up, you'll get your first toe to bar, whatever that may be. But it's not the objective, right? We're not in it to chase the shiny sports and the fancy movements and all of those things. I just want you to feel better in your body and how you're moving through your life outside of the gym. And that is something that we choose. It is the community that we attract. We'll share this story another time, but this year has been really cool for us because we have a number of our members have been with us for a few years. And so they're starting to get those firsts, but it took them a few years. They had to do the mobility, they had to show up for the recovery, they had to learn to scale appropriately to develop all these things. And they had to learn to move well and trust the process. And this is the year that we're seeing a lot of that work pay off, which is super cool. I have a lot more to say in a lot of different areas of this, but I want to put that invite out here of if you've had a challenging experience with CrossFit, maybe you got hurt or you only know people that are hurt in CrossFit. What I would challenge you to ask, is this meeting you where you're trying to be met and is it aligned with your goals? I'm going to end this video with a just because you do CrossFit does not mean you have to hurt all the time. The expectation of getting injured and being sore, that should not be the goal. I have other opinions and different opinions on that and how that kind of gets spoken about. But this is an invite to keep trying and keep looking for that community because at the foundation of what CrossFit is trying to do, it can be really powerful and helping shape someone's health and wellness and future. And if you have had a bad experience, I apologize for that. I have actually also been hurt in CrossFit. I had a couple challenging experiences when I moved before we opened our box. And so coming from somewhere that was very supportive and very safe and all of these things, and then experiencing the other end of the spectrum on a lot of levels was really hard. And if I would have taken that at face value and not known that every box is different, every coaching style is different, programming is different, all of these things, I probably wouldn't be here today running my own box. Keep trying, keep looking, keep showing up for yourself. Ultimately, do the things in the health and fitness world that bring you joy. And yeah, I just want this to be a permission to try again, but also give you some insight that it is not the bigger umbrella, it's not the label of CrossFit that is the challenge. It is finding the best culture that fits for you and what you're looking for.